this computer. There we go. And I go ahead and start to share my screen. So I'm going to do this, and there we go. Okay, so you guys should be seeing my screen that's got a big white screen, and it says Zoom on there. Can you guys all see that?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, good to have you guys here, and awesome to have you guys here, and good. I hope everything's going well for you guys. As I mentioned to you, I was unaware that we did not. This is the problem with never going to the building. It's like I'm doing everything remotely, and I don't read everything that comes out. They send some kind of correspondence every day, and you kind of reach a point where it turns into white noise. You don't really pay as much attention to it as you should. But I did not I knew Veterans Day was coming up, but I didn't realize we got it off. So here's the thing. I've been teaching now. This is my 7th year teaching, 6th or 7th. Yeah, so it's just my 6th year teaching. This is the first year I've ever had a Thursday be canceled because of Veterans Day, because Veterans Day doesn't move. Here's a little knowledge for you. Have you guys ever heard of the phrase "a movable feast"? Have you guys ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, a movable feast. Here's a little bit of work for you here. All right, a movable feast is this. When you have a calendar, okay, you have a calendar right here, and a movable feast would be something that there's immovable feasts. Okay, for instance, Christmas is an immovable feast. It's always December 25th. No matter what, it's always December 25th. The New Year's Day is always January 1st. No matter what day it falls on, it's always going to be January 1st. And there's other holidays that are always on a certain day. Okay, they always are. It never changes. Now Thanksgiving, on the other hand, is a movable feast, because Thanksgiving basically is always going to be on, I think, the 4th Thursday. So it's the 4th Thursday of the month. And so therefore it moves. It's on different days. Another movable feast would be Easter. Easter moves from year to year. Hanukkah moves from year to year. So there's movable feasts and there's immovable feasts. Now, that being said, did anyone know that before, or is that a new phrase to you guys?
New to me.
That is a new phrase to me.
Okay, new phrase. Okay, it's a cool term, a movable feast. Be a great name for a song, movable feast. Anyway, that's another story. I'm in a bit of a musical frame of mind. My band just played recently, and we're trying to figure out new stuff to do with this gig we're playing the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we're working on that stuff right now. But anyway, okay, so anyway, but that's what happens. So anyway, Veterans Day is not a movable feast. It's always the same. And I didn't realize that. So this is the weird thing. We're having one day shaved off of our semester that we typically don't have. So that typically there's 16 weeks, 16 actual classes, since this is just a once a week class. But since Veterans Day came on a Thursday, we're missing Thanksgiving and we're missing Veterans Day. That's 2. So we're going to be only having 15. So what I have to do is I have to double up. The next couple of weeks, which is not a problem, because it's just not a problem. So tonight we're going to complete the custom garage. This is going to be kind of a little bit of a shorty class, just because I don't want to kind of mess the 2 of them up, because we're going to finish the one and then we're going to start next week. So the next 2 weeks will be a bit longer. The last week of class is actually going to be, you're going to hand in your final project before class. And then after that, what you're going to do is I have a short little assignment in Revit that'll take less than an hour. It won't take long at all. And just to verify that you know how to do something in Revit. That's all that is. So that's what the class is. That's what we do. So anyway, that being the case, we're going to work on that. So tonight we're going to be working on the custom garage. So the custom garage is a project that actually we got the bulk of it done right now. So now we're going to finish it and tonight, and then this is going to be due. Let me just show you something here, just to take a look at the what's due when. On the what's due when right here, you're going to notice that I actually updated this right here. The custom garage was supposed to be due tonight, but since we missed last week, it can't be. So it's going to be due November 23rd. That is next Tuesday. That is 2 days before Thanksgiving. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want to make it Thanksgiving. I didn't want to have anybody scurrying around on Thanksgiving trying to get this thing done. So it's going to be due Tuesday. Okay, it shouldn't be a problem if you started it before. There's not that much left, so we're going to go over right now. And then when we get back on in December, which would be December something or other, will be December. Let's see here. Then December the 2nd we will be in earnest working with the winter project. So this will be two weeks for that. And then you'll hand it in the third, before the third week. And then we have the last class on the 16th. So that's going to happen right there. So before we go any further, are there any questions so far with what we went over with the custom garage? I know it was 2 weeks ago, but are there any questions? Is there anything you guys have that you were wondering about? I think we went over that pretty well. I fielded a couple questions from you guys. I was going to say, Elijah, you had a question about the template. I sent you a new one. Did you get that?
Yeah, but I still couldn't save it as my own project, so I saved it as a template.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, okay, here's the thing. If you just double click on the template, what happens in Revit, it's not as forgiving as AutoCAD. AutoCAD, you can save it, if you double click on a template, you can save it as a DWG. Revit doesn't let you do that. So all you'd have to do there, Elijah, is save your project as a template. That's okay, just save it as a template. And then what you do is you start a new project. And when you start that new project, you specify the template, which is what you just got done working with. And you just take that template, and then you can save it as a project. That's all you have to do. So just one more step. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just confused on why I couldn't open it. I was like, this is a little weird.
Yeah. Well, what happened is, yeah, you can't, Revit is not forgiving at all when it comes to previous versions. So, or rather future versions. So Revit 2022, if you do anything in Revit 22, you are unable to open it in Revit 2021. That's just how it is. I hope they find a way to work around that, because it's pretty, it's not the best system, but in any case, that's, I guess it's not the best system for those of us who are used to AutoCAD. Other people probably didn't think about it, but yeah, that's how that works. Okay, so that's how that works. So did that make sense, Elijah, how to get around that, template to project situation?
Yeah, save it as a template, then open up a new file and save it as a project then.
That's all you do. That's all you do. That's how you get around it. So you can always get there from here. So it's not a problem. So that is going to be due next Tuesday. And then we have Thanksgiving. So we're already starting to come into the holidays. So it's going up pretty quickly here. So that being the case, this is not going to be really, I'm not going to hammer you guys too much at all, but not going to hammer you at all. But what I've got here, can you show how to place the stairs? Yes. Okay. How to place the stairs. Okay. So there were those who had a question about how to place the stairs. I know I had at least one person that was having an issue trying to get that done. Was that UK?
Maybe.
Were you having trouble placing the stairs last time, and it was not working for some reason?
Oh, the attic stairs. Yes.
Okay. Did you get that resolved?
No.
You never got it resolved. Okay. Yeah, from what I recall is I couldn't get it to work either. Yeah. Okay. I'll try to do the place the stairs. I'll do that. Okay. So we'll do that. Any other questions before because now's the time. Any other questions, you guys?
I actually have one more.
Yeah.
When you're when you're doing the background that's in like the middle, it's like all of those like small dots. Is there a certain way to do that? Can you show me?
When you're doing the background, did you say?
Yeah, so on the sheet, like I printed out like the entire workbook, but I don't understand how to get those dots.
The dots.
You probably just talk to you after class about it. I think it'll make more sense if I could like show you.
No. It's fine. But just please ask, please specify. When you say dots, what which sheet are you talking about?
Like it's the second sheet in like the workbook. So after the garage like overview, it shows the I don't know how to explain it. It just like it's like the outline of it, and then it's in the middle.
Okay. All right.
Do you mean the text box by any chance? Is that what you're talking about?
That might be what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I might just be stupider now. I think it's easier than what I think.
Okay. Hey, be at peace. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Nothing wrong with you asking questions. Because if you have a question, you wax bold. A lot of other people are probably unwilling to say it, but they have the exact same question. So let me make sure that we get this here. Yeah, I can unsubmit that, Liam. Not a problem. Yeah. By the way, I send you guys emails, and I am no one to talk because I didn't even know that we didn't have to have class on Veterans Day. Okay, so that shows you how great I am about reading emails. But anyway, as far as emails, I did send it to you and I did send it and I told you guys that you don't have to hand anything in tonight. Okay, so that's it. So if you do read those things, they do have good information. I try to keep them short so as not to drive you crazy. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, if you're not talking there, and just Lexi, just be clear about this. Lexi, you take a look at this. Are we talking about sheet A1? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and are you talking about the circles with the lines on them around the perimeter?
Yeah.
Okay, those are actually outlets. And on the previous class, in the in the video, I actually go over how to do those, but I'll show you that again. We'll go ahead and do that. So
Okay, thank you, sorry.
We'll talk about the stairs and we'll talk about that. Any other questions as we're going through that? I'm sure there's more. Do not be shy.
Is it still possible to resubmit it since it's not due yet?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you what, here's my policy when it comes to that. Here's my policy. All right. My policy is this. What you do is simply send me an email requesting me to go ahead and it's called clearing the attempt. And I'll clear the attempt. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. So I can go ahead and do that. If you inadvertently submitted it, yeah, I have no problem clearing it out. Just send me an email, okay?
I'll do that right now.
Yep, that's fine. Okay, okay, and hello, those of you guys that are showing up here. Let me kind of keep this going here. Just trying to keep people coming here and trying to keep track of everybody, and that is what I will do. Second here. Okay, there we go. All right, good to have you guys here. Okay, any other questions while we're here?
Professor, I just arrived now.
Yeah.
I didn't submit because I saw your email. I should submit
No,
the garage today.
not due yet. Not due.
Okay.
And and again, one thing you guys want to do too is make use of Blackboard. Like on Blackboard, like I have right here. Blackboard, I keep this updated. And this is this is I think revision 3 that I've had, because as the class goes through, I got to revise different things. So I got this right here. So the Revit Custom Garage is not due, was never due. It's due on the 20. Yeah, I understand because we skipped a class. I understand what you're saying, and so I understand why you guys thought that. In any case, though, because yeah, so I went over this explanation earlier, but what happened is because I was unaware that we would be missing class because of Veterans Day. By the way, if any of you are veterans, thank you for your service. God bless you. Appreciate that. And very appreciative of those who have served. And in these days, I mean, what my dad, I don't know if you guys knew this, but did any of you guys know that up until Vietnam, pretty much everybody had to serve in the military? Do you guys know that?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of world history classes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, every man after ever since World War II, once they started the draft for World War II, they didn't stop it till Vietnam. It went on for 35 years. And so no matter who you were, you had to serve. You had to do a minimum of 2 years in some branch of the service. My dad served 2 years in the Naval Air Corps. All my uncles served. Everyone served. There's just no way around it. You may remember, have you guys ever see pictures of Elvis Presley in a military uniform? Anyone ever see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he just did that out of the goodness of his heart and just put his career on hold? Well, the answer is no.
No.
The answer is he had to do it. That's why he did it. And guess what? Did you ever see pictures of Jimi Hendrix in a military uniform?
Yes, that's one of my favorite guitar players.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix served in the military too. Why? Because he had to. That's the way it was. And the thing is, you didn't get around all of them. You go down the list, man. They all served in the military because it was required. That's the way that it was. So anyone who is in it now, they picked it. They chose it. It was a decision that they made. So if you did do that, or you know someone who has, hats off to you. I appreciate that. It's a big deal. It's an all volunteer force. And I used to live up near Fort Drum, and I know a lot of guys that are veterans. A good friend of mine, we actually have a we have like a video church thing on Mondays, you know, we get together. His name is Steve, and he was a jumper. He was a paratrooper. He jumped out of hundreds of perfectly good airplanes. That's what he says. He'd say this. He goes, well, it's like what I did is I joined the military because what I wanted to do is I wanted to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. You know, that's what he did. So that's what he did for years, and he did that. And a great guy. He was stationed in both Afghanistan and Iraq, and good guy, real good guy, Steve. And so he was a jumper, as they call them, and he did that. And I have a lot of friends up from that area because they all served. You know, they're all still in the military, so that's how that works. So a lot of friends of mine are military, so that's how that works. So it's a big deal. So anyway, getting back to where we were, I'm getting digressed pretty easily tonight. So we'll move on from there. So any other questions before we move on? Anything about the custom garage project? Oh, and if you do need me to back out your project, just please send a request. I have no problem. I'll back it out, and we'll take care of that. So if you need that, just send me an email. That's how I handle that. Any other questions before we move on into the project? Okay, all right. And by the way, that's bonus material that I gave you tonight. That's bonus. That means that this information is, there's no charge for it. No charge for that extra information. Okay, so it's just, it's included in your tuition. Okay, so about movable feasts and all that. Okay, so moving on, I'm kidding. All right, moving on over to here. We're going to go to here. And what we got here is over here, we're talking about the custom garage plan. So what we did is we talked about this, and we talked about the different projects, and I sent you guys the video, and you have all this stuff. So you have the construction documents, you got the template, and this is where you submit it. That's what we have. So let's go over to here. And this is where we left off last week. We left off, or 2 weeks ago. We left off 2 weeks ago here. And what we have going on right now is the basic structure right here. So what we did is we went ahead and we did the exterior walls right here. And when we did the exterior walls, they look like this. They've got extra lines. And if you zoom in, if you want to, again, just to kind of like be clear about what we talked about here, is if we want to make this a little bit more clear or less clear, depending on what you do. If you want to have more bold lines, this is up here. It's called thick, thin lines. Okay, so if you click on this right here, if I click on this right here, what it does, it actually thickens those lines. So this does that. Okay, and that's something that is helpful because there's times you do not want them to be that thick. The other thing we talked about is how to place dimensions. So we saw how to do that. We went over that. We talked about these elements out here, which are elevation markers. We talked about how to get these all perfectly in place. And these right here is what the question was about. These right here are electrical fixtures, okay? So these are electrical fixtures, okay? Now what they represent is exactly that, an electrical fixture. So if I were to go here to the 3D, let me go over, yeah. So if I go to the 3D version of that here, if I go to 3D and take a look at this, this is what this looks like. And I'm going to go, and I showed you guys this last week. If we go over here, I can turn on what's called the section box. When I turn on the section box right here, it puts us in a glass box. And when I click on the glass box, I can click these little controls, and I can actually just move this in and out. So if I pull this back in, I can actually see this much of there. I guess we got that. So when you got this, this is what those were. This is what this is right there. So I click on that. It's an electrical fixture. Outlet duplex. Okay, that's what we have right there. And if I go back over to here and take a look at it here, actually it'd be here. Okay, we got it right here. This is where they are here. That's what they look like. That is the standard notation for a duplex. Okay, has anyone ever heard of a duplex before as far as for an electrical outlet?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And so that's what that is. Okay, so to put them in, what we saw was you do this. You go up here to your systems. You go to systems right here. And under system, we go over here to device. And what you would do here is you put an electrical fixture right here. And then over here, you choose this. Over here, you'll notice you got these different, one of these different options. And we are using outlet duplex. If I click on here, I'm able to take it and place it. When you get it onto a wall, should we be able to do this? Try that again. Yeah, I can actually place it right there on the wall, which I'm doing. And you'll notice that right now I'm getting the universal not allowed symbol, but when I put it on a wall, it goes ahead and lets me do that. So that's how we go ahead and do that. So that's how we place those in, and that's what those are. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so we have that going on. The other we talked about is dimensions, and I think that's pretty clear. And we put in the attic stairs, which are right here. Now, again, if you're having trouble with the attic stairs, let me show you how you put these in. First of all, I'm on level 1 right now. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go right down here and I'm going to find that particular family. The one that we're using right here, this one's actually, if I click on this, it'll tell you it's, come on you. All right, that is attic stairs Facro LMS 22 by 47. It gives you a ceiling notation right here. So that's the same one right here. So if I click on this, you just take it and drag it in and you drop it right here. And I go ahead and drop it. And okay, didn't like it. Okay, it's actually there, but it's not, you can't see it in this view. So I'm going to undo it. I'm going to put it in on the, I'm going to put it on level 2 to make life a little bit easier. So if I go to level 2, I will be able to place it there. So over here, I go to level 2 and there they are right there. There's the attic stairs. And I'm going to go back over here to the, back over to here. 22 by 40, so I'm going to take these and drop it in here. And it does show up here. And then I hit my, and I can go ahead and drop it right there. Okay, so go ahead and do that. And yes, I'll go ahead and do that. And then once I have that, to rotate it, you got to rotate it on the first floor. So I go, okay, yeah, over here. So I've got this over here. So this is on the first floor. So I do this, and then all I do is just rotate it. And to rotate, you give it a start point, and then you give it an end point like that. So that's how you go ahead and do that. And once it's done, you can go back to your 3D view and you can see what that looks like. And I should have 2 different sets of them. And oh, where did that go? I guess that's not there. Okay, so let me try that again. So I've got that. Oh, because I did the undo. All right, so this is the one I want right here. So what I'm going to do is this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and put my section box back on, and I should be seeing 2 of them right now. Should. And I'll go ahead and click on this, and I'll go ahead and pull this back a little bit like this. Let's see. Yep, and there we have 1 and 2, and that's how we go ahead and place that. Now, some of you are having an issue with that, so if that's the case, I can help you troubleshoot it, but that's pretty much what you have right there. So go ahead and do that. Move it on there. And by the way, so you go into section box in here, we just move around like this. All right, so let me just stop for a second there. Are there any questions?
Yeah. My realistic colors, it doesn't work.
Your realistic colors don't work.
Yeah.
You go here and you go to realistic, it doesn't give you anything?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, did you use the template I gave you?
Yes.
Is anybody else having that same issue that it's not giving you this realistic view?
I can make it with different colors, but not the realistic one.
Yeah. Well, realistic should work. I don't really know what to tell you. The template has all those elements in it. But that's okay. If it's doing that, if you just go to consistent colors, that's fine too. It's like, so it's not something I would grade you down for. The only thing I can think of is somehow you're having a graphics issue with your machine. So if it looks like that, that's fine too. So don't be stressed about that. It's nothing wrong. It's just something that would probably be good to kind of settle around. But if it just looks like this, that's fine too. But the realistic, it could be your graphics card just isn't supporting it very well. That's what I would think. Okay.
I have the same problem. My realistic disappear my draw when I put in realistic color.
Okay. All right. Let me show you how to fix that. Okay. Those are you guys running Revit right now too? Right now while we're on here.
I
My
am.
machine is holding up while we're doing Revit, so I am.
All right. Let me show you how you do this. If you go here to okay, I'm over here right now. And if I click on this wall, right here, which is my basic garage wall. Okay, if I go here, are you guys with me so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to do this, you click on this edit type right here. Now, when you go into edit type, this is how you actually go into the structure of this whole thing. Now, I'll just show you that you just want to make one little tweak here. So I'm going to go here to edit. When I go to edit, it lets me look at my materials. So I've got siding right here. So I click right here in siding. When I click right here, I'd want to take a look out here at the different options that I have. Now, your material browser should show up, okay? Material browser should show up. And then over here, you should see this image right here, okay, which actually has this. Now, what is this called? Okay, it's called thermal moisture dot roofing, siding, siding, panels, wood, horizontal, cedar. Now, if you can't see these, you may have to install your content. You may have to install some content. You may have to actually install some content install those materials. So let me show you how you would do that. If you're not seeing this right here, if you're not seeing this, by the way, has anybody followed along with me and taken a look? And has anyone looked at this and seen this? Does anyone do it with me right now?
I'm gonna go over the video after because I'm not able to open Revit right now.
You can't do both at the same time. Is anybody doing this at the same time right now, just so that I can know to kind of compare notes?
I can if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Go
would-
ahead. Go ahead and go back there. And do you need me to do that again?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go here. You want to go out here and you want to click on one of these walls first of all, okay? Let me know you got that.
Got it.
Okay, then go up here and click on edit type, okay? I'll show you how to unlock the secrets of doing rendering. Tell me when you got this.
Yep.
Okay, click on this bar right here that says,
Okay.
okay, now right here is siding. If you click right here, a little ellipsis will show up and this will pop up.
What did you just click under? Siding,
Yes, you click on the box. Hold on, let me. hold on.
wraps, or structure material?
Oh, no, you want it right here where it says siding. You click right here on the far right and there'll be three. And when you click inside that box on ellipsis, which is a 3-dot button shows up, then you click on the 3-dot button. Over here. So you click here and then you click here. Does that make sense?
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, are you seeing this image right here?
I have the same window, but mine doesn't have the finishes in it. It's
Okay.
all like blank white boxes.
Oh,
Okay.
you gotta click appearance.
Oh, appearance. Thank you. Yeah, now it shows up.
Okay, so you're seeing you're seeing this right here.
Yep.
So you're seeing the actual preview of siding.
Yes.
Okay, so you actually do have it. So I'm not sure why the others do not have it, but sounds like some of you do have it and some of you don't. The only thing I can think of, oh, you know what it could be? You know what it could be is this. If you're not seeing the realistic view, what you might, let me show you something here. It is entirely possible that when you construct, that when any of us construct this is what can happen. Take a look at this right now. Like if I click on this right here, it shows me this wall right here. Now it's showing me right here, this is my siding. If I hover down on the outside, it's a siding, but if I don't orient them correctly, they actually can face inside. Let me show you what I mean by that. So if I'm looking at my 3D view like this right here, I'll go to this one. If I do this, and if I click on this wall right here, if I right click my mouse and go change walls orientation, watch what happens here. I clicked on it, then did here. Now, if it looks, now is that what yours looks like?
No,
Those that were asking,
no, it's not the same.
that's not the same. So it doesn't look like this.
No, the picture it's look clear. Like it doesn't show anything.
Okay. So you're saying, okay, that's your graphics card then. That's what's going on there.
Okay, when I Googled it, I think they said if you save it multiple times, that's what's gonna happen, probably because I saved it more than once.
No, that would not be it.
Okay.
You know, what I'm saying is if the only time, okay, so in other words, you're able to get this view right here, correct? You're able to get that view
Yeah, I'm able to get that view.
and you're able to get this view.
Yeah, all of them, but not that realistic. color.
Okay, the only thing I can think of right there is your graphics card is not supporting it. That's all I can think of because I've run into this a few times with Revit and the graphics card will kind of conk out on you. And so yeah, that's my best guess. So that's what I think that is, but we can talk further if we want to. Okay, so Lexi, you had a question. You had the question about that. And then let's see here. Okay, so we had that. And the one question was about those the outlets. And there was another question, Lexi. What was the other question?
It was just the attic stairs and then I think the outlooks and I think that was it.
Okay, so I showed you how to do the attic stairs. Okay, so we're good to go there. Okay. All right. Any other questions there, Lexi? Did I answer your questions?
Yeah, you did. Thank you so much.
Okay, now over here, we're back on level 1. So now we're going to do what is missing. Well, let's take a look at what we have to bring in here. Going back over here to our custom garage construction documents. If I go here, I'm going to drop those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open those up over here in my downloads. And I'm going to go ahead and do, what the heck is that? All right, let me download it. Save that. So I'm going to open that up. Okay, here we are. So this is the first picture. Now, how do I get this picture? This picture right here says 3D-1. Okay, it's got this image right here, and that's what it's showing me. Okay, so how do I get that picture on there? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. And there's all these sheets right here. So we have these sheets. We have all these things that are going on right now. Now, let me just kind of point a couple things out. Okay, so this view right here, this is your first floor. This should be pretty much all set. And then you have your next one. This is level 2. And that one should be set. And then you've got, this is your elevations. Now, let me show you something here. As you guys have worked on this, you should be seeing right now your elevations. Let me show you what I mean by that. Your elevations, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I'm going to go back to architecture. And if I go here to, okay, yeah, this is the finished version right here. Okay, and I'm going to just show you what the sheets are going to look like. So the sheets do look like this down here. You got this one. It's going to look like this and so forth going down through here. Now, going through these, you got all these in place. So let me show you what you've got so far. This is the one that I started with you guys. So if I go back here, if I go to level 1, this is my tutorial. So if I go down here and if I begin to look at these, I'm going to take a look at my sheet. So if I go to A0, there's nothing there. There's nothing there yet. I go to the first floor plan, there's nothing there. Second floor plan, nothing there. Elevations, nothing there. Okay, so why is there nothing there? You know, what happened here? What's going on? Okay, so what I got to do right here is I actually have to populate these. So the first one, let's just do the first floor plan just to show you the concept. Now, if I go to the first floor plan right here, it says attic stairs right here, and it tells me over here, Brennan Corp, custom garage, first floor plan. I got the logo to my business up there. So I've got all this stuff in place. So it's like, okay, well, that looks pretty good, but okay, how do I get the other thing in there? Well, it's this easy. I go over here, and what you do is I go to level 1, I grab level 1, I take this, I just drag it right over here, and I drop it. I drop it right there. And when I drop it right there, it shows up like that. Now, at this point, that looks pretty good, except it's okay, so it says level 1, 3/8 equals 1 inch. And that's actually the right size. So, but this is really pretty large. Okay, so how do I fix that? Well, I'll show you how I fix it. I'll just go back over to level 1. And when I go to level 1, I'll go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on what's called my crop region. So I turn my crop region. My crop region looks like this. Now, what does your crop region do? Let me show you what it does. Your crop region does this. Your crop region allows you to crop your work so that if you do that right there, it actually will crop it off. Now, it's not showing it right now unless I use my crop view. So there's two different things. I can actually crop my view. And you guys, I think cropping is a term. You know, I'm old enough that I took photography in high school, real photography. You know, it's like back in my day, in the previous millennium, we used to actually take pictures and develop them with silver nitrate materials in a black, dark room. That's true, we did. And you actually had to develop, for those of you that are familiar with Xerox and Kodak, that's how that all worked. You know, you actually went through that. Does anyone have any relatives that worked for Kodak? No? Okay. Well, you're familiar with the fact that you used to have to develop film, right? You guys all know about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you
Yeah.
develop film, what you would do is you'd basically go into the dark room. And when we went in the dark room, you had what was called an enlarger. And the enlarger would be something where you'd actually take the image that you had, your negative, and you'd actually project it onto a sheet of photographic paper. And it was really high resolution, so it'd project it down. And then what it would do is it actually burn that image onto the photographic paper, and then you would develop it. And as you went along with that, you were able to adjust what you saw in the image and what you didn't. It was known as cropping. And that's what we're doing right here. We're cropping this. So if I click on this right here, this is my crop line right here. And the crop line right here, it looks like a rectangle, but it's not cropping anything. I can turn the crop on and off. If I hold my cursor down here, it says crop view. I crop the view, it does that. I uncrop the view, it does that. So you can turn the crop on and off. So that's what your crop view lets you do. And then over here, you can turn your actual, the crop region on and off. Okay, the crop region is the actual rectangle that actually works with that. So you want to pull this in as tight around here as you can so that everything fits and nothing is left out. So you want to do this, you'll pull this over, get it nice and close. And you want to make sure you get your dimensions in, but it doesn't need to get that. That should be good right there. Okay, so I've got that. Now let me go to my sheet. I'll go to my sheet, which is my first floor plan. Now I take a look at that. Now that looks better. Okay, now as far as that goes, I'm going to take this. I'm just going to use my arrow keys to move it down here. Now look at that. You see it's doing this kind of thing. I've actually got a little bit of a notation there that I can get rid of, which I will do. But let's go ahead and place it like this. Now, what is it that I want to do over here? Well, I've got a couple things I need to clean up here. First of all, if I go back to level 1 here, this is my tutorial. This is what I'm working on right now. And these, I don't want to see these. Okay, these are my elevation markers, these little triangle things. So I click on one of those. Now, how do I make it disappear? There's like a lot of different ways to do this. I'm going to show you the way I like to do it. So you click on one of these and you right click and you can choose hide in view. And then you would choose this category. So choose that category, you can't see it anymore. And then I can say down here, hide the crop region. So I hide the crop region. Now, once I've done that, let me take a look at how I've done here. Now I take a look at that. That looks pretty good now, doesn't it? Looks really good. Now I do have a notation here that doesn't belong here. So I'll click on this and delete it. And that cleans that up. And then we're good to go. Now at this point, we are good to go. Now down here, I've got this little notation here. And when I actually click on it, I can actually take and drag it. So again, I'm clicking on it and it turns blue and I can drag it into position. So I drag it over here. Now you're going to notice that it overlaps way over here, and that's we don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and hover my cursor over the edge here. Now, when I hover my cursor right here, that is what is known as your viewport. Your viewport is that crop region, actually what you're able to see here. So if I click on this, watch what happens when I click on the edge of this, not inside, but on the edge. When I click on the edge, you'll notice that this little circle shows up here. And little circle shows up here, which lets you stretch this. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and stretch it over a little bit like this. So it looks like that. And I mean, I pull it back over this a little bit. So I do that, and then I can maybe move it up a little bit, like back this way. And I do that. And then when I do that, I then click outside here to release it. And then I just went ahead and edited that. So that's how we go ahead and place those. And at this point, we are looking good here. It says 3/8 of an inch equals a foot. I've got these things. And you guys can edit this too if you know for yourself. So you can go change this, and I'd recommend you do that. So you don't want to be drawn by Tom Brennan. You want to put your name in, but check by that will be me. So you can leave that in there. You can also change the date. Okay, those are things you can do. So that's how we go ahead and pull that on there. Does that make okay? Well, does that make sense so far? You guys with me?
Yeah.
Okay, and then that's how we do the others. Okay, so I'll go to sheet 2, which is my. It's called, it's named quite tellingly second floor plan. So I go here. Now, what do I do here? I do the same thing. I go to level 2. I pull this one in. So I go ahead and pull this in. I go ahead and drop this and see how that one looks. Okay, that looks pretty good, except it's got some information that I don't want to see, but that's okay. We can fix it. So first of all, it says down here 3/8 of an inch equals a foot. Yep, that's right. That's what it should be. And that's the second floor plan. That one says attic stairs. Now, what do I need to do here? Is go over here to my level 2. So back over to level 2. And now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to click on the roof. When I click on the roof, I'm going to right click my mouse and go to hide in view this category. Boom. There we got it. Looks good. So I've got that. And then I go back over to here to my to the sheet that's over here. We'll go to my sheet. And I want to go to A2, second floor plan. Right here. And when I do that, it looks pretty good there. It looks pretty good. So I go ahead and take this and bring it down here a little bit like that. Okay, and then the other thing I can do is I can actually click on this and move this over to the edge of this like that. And then, as I did before, I hover my cursor over the edge. And when this lights up, I click on the edge and I can pull this over. So able to do that. And this is how we go ahead and make this work. All right, and then over here, you change these things too. All right, over here, it's not been populated yet, but that's I can change this to be like November 18th, can you believe it's already November 18th? 021, like that. And then that's going to do that. And that'll actually populate the other sheets too. I think it will. I think it does. And so I've got that. Let me see if it does that. Yeah, that populated there too. So that's how I go ahead and populate these sheets. Pretty straightforward. And I'll do the next one. Now A3 elevations. Now I go to A3 elevations and I'm not seeing anything here. So what do I need to do here? What I want to do here is I want to go to my elevations. I've got an east, a north, a south, and a west. So I'm going to go to east right here. I'm going to pull east up. Nope, I just kind of didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag east over into here. Okay, I'll go ahead and drop this here. East goes there. And does that where that goes? I think it does. Yeah, east goes there. And it goes ahead and shows that information. We're good to go. So then I'm going to go ahead and grab north. So I'll grab north. Oh, come on. Treated that like a double click. So I'm going to bring this over here, north. All right, looking pretty good. Now that one needs to move up a little bit. Like that. Now at this point, I need to pull this down. Like that. And then you got that. So that's how we do that. And then I go over here to south. It goes over here. Drop that there. Then I grab west. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so that looks like that. Now at that point, I would go ahead and I'd edit these so that these are all equal, you know, from view to view. So I'll go ahead and pull this over. And to edit this, I click on the edge here. I pull this over. Like that. And you can think around with that, you get the idea. That's how we go ahead and do this. All right. And those are 3/16. So that's good too. So that is how that's going to look. Okay, when you're done with that. So those are how we populate these views. Then we got foundation plan. Foundation plan. Now let's see how we're doing there. Foundation plan. That is actually that's the footing. And so I'm going to go to the footing. Let's see how we're doing here. Now the footing right now, I don't have anything yet. The footing looks like this. Now, one thing I didn't do here is I didn't put in my thickened edge slab. Okay, so let me show you something here. So over here, I'm going to go to my first floor plan if I can. First floor plan. Okay, wrong one. Okay. All right, now I've got this right here. I'm going to go to 3D. You can take a look at this in 3D. And when you take a look at 3D, one thing I'm going to point out here is you got this thickened slab here, which is actually something that we're going to work with right now. And this thickened edge slab is something that is typically done, gives you a little bit of kind of a footing around the edge, around the perimeter. So if I click on that, that tells me that's a slab edge thickened. All right, that's what that is. So I'm going to go back over to here to, well, let's see, to my footing. So I'm going to go over here to my footing. All right, my footing. All right, so this is my tutorial. Now at this point, to put this on here, I'm going to go here. Let me see if I can remember this. I'm going to go to structure, and then I'm going to go over here to, slab. Let's see here. Yes, the floor slab edge. Okay, so it's under structure, under slab, and floor slab edge. So I'm going to click right there. Now watch this. I'm going to go ahead and click on the edge here, and it gives me this. See that? And it puts this little tooth down there. And I go around the perimeter of it. I'm just touching it right now. Okay, now I got that. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Looks like that. So what I did is I just put that in place. So that's my thickened edge slab. So now at this point, now that I've done that, I'm going to save it. And I'm going to go out to my footing. And I go to my footing. It's going to look something like this right here. And what it's not showing right now is there's supposed to be a 24 by 36 plan here, but that it's not there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. Now, the thickened edge slab looks like this here. If I go through here, what this looks like is here. It says thickened edge slab 12 inches by 24 inches. That's what it says. And it's got this dashed line. Now, remember that the floor is 24 by 24 by 30, 24 feet by 30 feet. So therefore, the thickened edge slab is going to be 2 feet less around the perimeter. So this one would be, what would that be? That'd be 20 feet by 26 feet. 20 feet by 26 feet is what it's going to be. So that's what I'm going to do. So back out to here, 20 feet by 26 feet. I'm going to use over here, I'm going to go to annotate. Now under annotate is where we start to find these different tools. And I'm going to use a detail line. And under detail line, I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this. Now, if I use a hidden line, I won't be able to see it. So I'm going to use a, no, actually hidden is fine. Hidden should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click it here and pull it on up like this. I'm going to go like that. Okay, I'm going to go basically and just click there. And then I'm going to do is I'm going to make one side 20 and the other side 26, because that's what we said it should be. You know, once it's there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just use my, I'm going to click on that, and I have to hit my tab. Okay, now hovering my cursor over here, I press my tab key. It's not connecting up. Oh, well, I'll just go to, look at this. I'll go, why is it not doing that? All right, well, it's not letting me. All right, once again. There we go. And then I'll just go ahead and use my arrow keys to move it over, and just kind of, you know, it's going to kind of find its own snapping point right there. So you have that. So that's how that works. That's how that's going to look. And then I want to put in the notation. So the scale here should be 3/8 of an inch equals a foot, and it is. And then the notation, it's going to be, I'm going to put in some notation. So to do that, I go here. And to put in a liter, I go here and I use a 2/7 liter. I'll go ahead and pick a point right here. I'll click a point here and pull it up and click there again. Go over and type in thickened edge slab. Okay. Thickened edge slab. 12 inches by 24 inches. Like that. So you got that. So that is all you need for that. And then I would go over to my footing plan, or to this sheet, which would be foundation plan. So go here, and what I'm going to do is pull that footing out of there. So click on footing, pull on over, drop it, and there we have it. Boom, there we have it. Now I've still got my crop region on there, so I want to change that. So well, hold on, why did that do that? Maybe it shouldn't have done that. No, that's correct. That's good. And so you got that in place right there. And then I could hover my cursor over the edge and click on this and then pull this back a little bit. So it's to the edge, and we can go ahead and do that and drop it there. So you got that. And so you got your thickened edge. That's it. And if yes, we're going to go. Okay, so that is how that would. Yeah, question?
Is there a way to make the font larger?
Yep, there is. There's a few different ways. If I were to go over there, and if you want to make it large, you'd go here. And right now it's 1/4 inch Arial. That should be fine. You could specify something else. Are you working with this right now with me?
Yeah, I mean, not all of it, but that part.
Okay, well, that should be, you could make it larger, but for this project, you shouldn't have to. It's in the template, so you should be okay with that.
Okay, well, mine's just a lot smaller than yours. That's okay.
So you're, okay, couple things here. First of all, check your scale down here. Is it 3/8 of an inch equals a foot?
Yes.
Okay, and if you click on this right here, does it say 1/4 inch Arial?
No, it's 3/32
Yes,
of an inch.
you go up here and you change it to 1/4 inch Arial. That help?
Got it.
Okay. Okay, and save your project. Okay, so now we're getting there. Now,
Professor, please.
yeah.
How can I put this left part in my computer? I can't see this everything's project browser below this information. I don't have. Yeah, this part I don't have.
You don't have this?
Yeah, I don't know how can I insert it.
Did you use the template I gave you?
Yeah, I use.
Yeah, it's in the template I gave you. You'll have to scroll down and look for what says sheets. If you use the template I gave you, it is in there. If you didn't use the template I gave you, then it won't.
I use the template, but I bring it. I think 2 weeks ago, because I started this project, I think 2 weeks ago, but it doesn't appear. I think
If she
Okay,
closed it, how does she
okay.
open it back up?
Sorry?
It can be closed, right? So if you close it with that X, I think you need to be able to open it back up.
Oh, do you mean the project browser down here? This whole
Yeah.
section?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, if the project browser, thank you for the intercession there, that did help. Okay, if you're not able to see your project browser, okay, first of all, okay, I went over this before, but that means it got closed inadvertently. So you go up to the view tab up here, and when you go to the view tab over here to the far right,
so,
you've
so
got yeah,
wait a minute, go to there first,
would go to-
I didn't,
you would go to view,
view, okay, view,
and then you go over here to user interface,
okay, user interface,
and you put a check mark next to project browser.
okay,
And then,
okay, now, okay.
all better?
Okay, but now, thank you. Now I can see,
There you go.
appear.
Okay,
again.
good. Very
Thank you.
good. Thank you. I'm glad you asked that. Okay, now the next one. Now this next one is something that if we take a look at that, you may look at this and say, "Oh, okay, I've got this really nice detail here." Well, how do I do that? Well, the short answer is you're basically going to go back to drawing in 2D AutoCAD, okay? Because essentially this is a 2D takeoff. Essentially, we start with a what's called a section. And when you draw a section through a structure, you then are able to get that information, and then you have to add some to it. So let me show you what I mean by that. This is the goal. That's what we want to have. Now, let's see what we get with ours. So we go to here. And if I were to go ahead and take a look at my, let's see here, if I go over here. Okay, I'm here right now. And what I want to take a look at is my level 1. This is the one I've worked with. Now, if I go here, if I turn on my sections, if I go to turn on my over here, and if I go to my now, by the way, what I did there, okay, is I typed VG, and that stands for visibility graphics. The other way to go to that is you go to view and go to visibility graphics. So it's up here. So there's a few different ways to do this. But when I open this up, I have the ability to turn different objects on or off. Like if I go down here, if I go to my doors, watch what happens here. I'm going to click on doors. I unchecked it. Now watch here. Watch these doors over here. I'm going to click apply, and they disappear. It's like turning layers on and off in AutoCAD. So if I go back to here and put a check mark in here, it's like turning the layer back on. I go to apply, and my doors show back up. So that is how we are able to go ahead and make things change. Now, annotation categories, this means things such as dimensions and things such as, besides that, things that we maybe have turned off. And what I did is in this view, I turned off the elevation markers. So if I go here and go to elevations and apply, the elevation markers came back on, but you can't see them because they're actually, I actually have them cropped out, so you can't see those right now. So we won't even worry about that. We'll leave that. And I'm going to scroll down here to sections. So I'm going to go down here to sections. I'll click on sections. I'll put a check mark here, and I'll hit apply. And when I do this, there's a section marker right there. That's a section marker, and I didn't get it. So we'll go back to do that. We'll go ahead and turn that back on because I didn't say okay. So sections and hit apply, and then hit OK. Now there's my section marker. There it is. Okay, it is pointing to a sheet. So I click on this. It shows me this is actually what is called the plan region. This is what it's looking at. So if I don't click on this, it goes ahead and brings me out to here. Come on, you. All right, it brings me into this right now. Okay, so that means what I need to do here is to put this in. I'm going to go back over here to my, I'm going to go to my floor 1, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'll put in a section. So go to level 1, and I'll be giving you guys a break in just a minute. So I'm going to go down here to section. Section is right here under view. You go to view, go to section, and then you start to draw the section here where you would actually want to place the bubble. So I'll click here. Bubble goes to the top, and I bring it right down, and I go ahead and just drop it there. And it says this, it's a warning. None of the created elements are visible. So it's not an error, but it is a warning. So close out of there. And what I got to do is I got to turn them on in this place. So under view, I go to view, I go to visibility graphics. You guys can guess where I'm going right now. I'm going to go to my annotation categories. I'm going to turn it on so I can adjust it a little bit. So go here, go to my sections, hit apply, and okay, and there it is. So I got this one right now. So let's see here. So I got this one. I didn't mean to put that one there. Interesting. So I got this one. Huh. All right, I'm in the right view. All right. Okay, so here. All right, I'll go and delete that one. All right, I might have left that in there. Ooh, you know what? Huh. Looks like I already did this for you guys. All right, so if I go here, let me back this up a little bit. So in this view right here. All right, so we try that again. See if it's, make sure it's working right. So this behaves the way it's supposed to. Sections. Apply. Okay, now, okay, so I did make this for you guys. So if I go ahead and click on this right here, all right, now this one is actually not showing me the whole wall. So if I go ahead and click on this right here, and you guys should, when you turn the section on, you guys should be able to see it. Okay. And we'll just go here. All right, it opens that up. And so that's all I'm seeing right there. Go back to level 1 and then click on this. And I'm going to adjust this so I can see a little better. So I'm going to actually drag it so I can see the wall. Pull this over like this, do that. And then I'm going to pull this up a little bit. All right, when I do this, then I'm going to double click on this. And that's the view that I start with. So that's what you do. You go ahead and use your section and you make a view. And we're going to park it right there. And it's 6:57. Let's go ahead and take, we'll take 5 minutes. So we'll come back at 7:02. So take 5 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes. It's 6:57. We'll come back at 7:07 and we'll complete this and we'll continue with that. So I'm going to take a break right now. So I'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Professor,
Yeah.
you're not gonna believe I got my attic stairs in.
Oh, really? Do you know
Yeah,
why?
I have no idea why, because I
Congrats.
clicked it a million times and then one time I clicked it and it went in.
I don't
But-
know, but I'm glad.
I know, it's so odd, but now I don't know how to turn it.
Oh, well,
Do you know?
you put it on, you place them on the second floor, right?
Yes,
Then go to the first floor. And when you go to
Yeah.
the first floor, you click on them.
Yeah.
And if you see your space bar, it should rotate.
okay, great. Is
Yeah.
there an exact placement for those?
No, there's not.
Just kind of a guess, okay.
It's a guesstimate. Okay.
Cool.
All right. I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. That gives you guys a chance to put your kids down, whatever else you guys need to do. So I'll see you in 10. Okay, we're back at it. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So what you got here is you got the wall section, okay, that kind of came in, but it's not complete. It doesn't look like the other one did. So how do I do this? What do I do? Now, here's the thing. This is where I'm going to shatter the myth of Revit. Because Revit, you would think, well, Revit kind of does everything. It's really smart. Well, it is, but it's got its limitations. When you work with Revit, there's a thing that's known as LOD. L as in Lockett, O as in Oliver, D as in Delta, or whatever those are. All right, LOD, level of detail. And level of detail has to do with, or level of development. Sometimes it means that, but most people say level of detail. Now, Revit on the scale is around a 350. The scale goes from 100 all the way up to 500. So Revit is not the most detailed. Well, 100 is the lowest, 500 is the most. 350 is the area that Revit actually is the number that Revit is assigned. Now, that being the case, Revit is a very excellent project. It's a great design tool and so forth, but there are some things that it's not going to be able to get done. So that's where Revit actually uses these CAD tools, okay? So to show you how to do this, what I've got here, I'll show you how to work with these, okay? Because I got this, and this is what I want to make it look like. So I got this asphalt shingles, I got this other stuff right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into place right now. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to go over here. First of all, I want to make sure that my wall section came in at 1 inch equals a foot. So I'll go ahead and go back to there, and then we'll move from there. So 1 inch equals a foot, so we're good to go there. So the first thing I want to point out is there are a couple of elements that actually showed up over here. Okay, now as you zoom in, you see this right here. By the way, if you're not seeing the detail, make sure that you're not at coarse. Okay, if you're at coarse, you're not going to see all that. If you change this down here to fine, you can do this. If you want to give yourself a little preview, you can go to realistic and just get an idea as far as how this looks, if that helps. I'm just going to leave it a hidden line for right now. Okay, so we got this, and what we did is we got this through through going ahead and creating a section. So just to go back here again, I created this. This section I think is already there. If it's not there, I showed you how to do that. So what you want to do is go to level 1 and turn on the section, and then just adjust it so that it's doing this. So that this little, and you have to click on this. If you click on it, you can then see this little dashed blue line, and then you can adjust it like I did right here. So you want to make it look like that. So that is what you would do. Now, moving on from there over to what we're working on right now, I'm going to go over my wall section, which is this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple little things here. First of all, I'm going to turn this on so it's fine, and it is. And then I'm going to go down here, and you're going to notice that there's actually over here, there is actually a detail here. You actually see insulation right in here. Insulation is in the wall. So there's a tool on the over here on the Annotate tab. Okay, over here on Annotate, let me go ahead and turn that on. Over under Annotate, you got this. So you click on Annotate, and then what you got right here is the ability to go to, let's see, where is that? Insulation is right here. So click on Insulation. Now when you click on Insulation, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to start it right here. I'm going to click and pull it straight up. And it does this automatically, so just do that. Now at that point, it needs to move a little bit, so I'll click on it. And then once I've got it selected, I'll just use my arrow keys to move it over a little bit. And the closer you zoom in, the more granularity you'll have to go ahead and pick that. So go ahead and do that. And okay, we just did that. Now that is not something that Revit did for us. We had to do that. That is a 2D thing. If I were to take a look over on the other side, it would not show up. So it's not there. So if I were to go over here to level 1, it's not there. I don't see it. I don't see any insulation in the wall. So that's telling me that I'm already starting to put some stuff in here. The next thing I'm going to put in here is if I go to detail component here, I got a component, I go to detail component here. What I'm going to do here is you'll notice I got this right here. This is actually an anchor bolt. It's already up here right now. I could put that right now, but rather than do that, I'm going to go ahead and pick a stud. So I'm going to scroll down here. I've got this nominal cut lumber. Now, what does that mean? Well, cut lumber, we know what that is. Lumber just means like your 2x4, means your wood. And so 2x4 is a standard size of lumber. And 2x4s are actually 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches. That's actually the real size. So this is a nominal cut lumber section. This is actually a detail that is supplied by Revit. So if I go ahead and click on this, I can go ahead and pull it in here, and you'll notice that it shows up here. So go ahead and I'm going to press my space bar. When I press my space bar, it then gives me this. I can take it and just slide in position right there. Boom, there it is. I need another one. I only need one on the bottom. So I've got that. And then I would actually want to put a couple more at the top. So if I want to put a couple more at top, I'd go back over here and I'd go to annotate rather. And then under annotate, I'd go to component again. And I'd use my nominal cut lumber yet again and do this. I go ahead and drop it in this kind of situation right here. Pull it right down here, do this. Got that. And then we do this. And that's a double top plate. So we've got that in place. So I've got that. Okay. Now the last thing I would do as far as this thing, I'd need to put my anchor bolt in. Now my anchor bolt is located same location. I go here and I go and look for my anchor bolt. So I'll click here and I'll go down and find my anchor bolt hook side 3/4. I'll go here and I'll go ahead and take this and drop it. Okay, gonna go ahead and get it kind of close to this. I'll just drop it right there. There we go. And then once I've got there, I'll go ahead and touch it there and I'll go ahead and use my arrow key to push it up like that. Now at that point, it looks like that. So now we are looking that those are the main elements we have. Now up here, I have a little bit of a situation. Okay, and what I've got here in the little situation here is this. I've got a need to actually hide some information here. Okay, I've got this, you see this information here? This is all hidden. Okay, this is kind of given to me and showed me this kind of information. So I've got that. So let me go ahead and see how to do it. So this is hidden, and I actually am still seeing this information out here, but this part of this joist is actually hidden. Well, to fix that, I'd go up here and I'd use what is known as my masking region. Okay, if I go to masking region right here, and it's going to load up a video. So watch the video, watch the movie here. So the video here, it shows up right here. You can actually make a masking region and click this and do what it's doing right there. And then what it does is it hides or occludes anything that's underneath it. That's what a masking region does, which is what I want to do here. So I can go ahead and put in a masking region, and I could go ahead and do this a couple of different ways. I could actually make it a rectangle. And when I do that, I'm going to make it invisible lines like it says here. So I'm going to go here, click here. I'm going to go up to, let's go right up to here. What the heck? I need to hide all that. I'll go ahead and pull that down like that. And then at that point, okay, then I'll hit my green check mark. Now when I did that, when I hit the green check mark, it does this and it hides that. At least it was supposed to. Why did it do that? Okay, so I'll go bring the front. There it is. Okay, so I brought it to the front. Now this part right here, I'm just going to pull this down a little bit so it's behind there. Then at that point, it looks like this. And then I still have a little thing right here, which is showing up right there. So that is something I would have to fix. Actually, so now what I do is I go to detail line and I would use my thin line to go ahead and just take this and drop from there to there. That does that. And then I could go ahead and do now this line over here, it has to go away. So I got to make another masking region right here. So another masking region, I'm just doing like a little cheat here, just to kind of like highly technical term, but that's what I'm doing here, doing a little cheat and going over here just to hide this and over that. Okay, continue. All right. There it is. Okay, so I do that. Now that's occluded like that. And at that point, I'm going to go ahead. I've got that. And then at that point, I would just go ahead and put my lines in again. Sometimes you gotta go back and forth a little bit. That's just kind of how that works. So go to here and pull this up like that. And then I would go ahead and go here like I did before. And at that point, that's looking pretty good. Then I go ahead and just pull this across, and pull this across. And then at this point, I need to put a little bit of hatching in there. So I go to here. Now, the other thing I can use is what's called a filled region. Now, the filled region, we'll watch the movie here. So we got the filled region. The filled region allows us to create a boundary and to fill that area with some kind of what we call cross hatching in AutoCAD or hatching. And so you've got that. And so we're able to make a filled region. So I'll do that right now and make a filled region. And the filled region will allow me to do precisely what I'm looking at right here, which is a diagonal. I'll just use diagonal up. I guess that'll work. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. So where is that? It's supposed to go here. So I'll go ahead and just pick here. I'll make a rectangle here. And I'll just go ahead and use my thin lines. Okay, when I did that, it kind of flipped it. which is fine. I can make a diagonal down and see if it doesn't look better that way. There it goes. So there you go. So I've got that in place. It looks pretty darn good. And then sometimes you got to zoom in and out to see things, but that's just kind of how things work. But that's good enough. I'd accept that right there. And then you could just do some tweaking and make it work. And then you put in your different labels. Now the labels say things such as this. We'll just put in a couple. You got this one that says asphalt shingles. All right. And by the way, it's not asphalt, it's asphalt. And then you got 1/2 inch plywood, 2x6 pre-engineered attic truss. So we'll just go ahead and put those three in. The rest will just be, essentially labor, lather, rinse, and repeat. So we'll do that. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go ahead and put in some notes here. So go to text, put in a leader. Now I'll go to the first one right here, which is up here. And this one will be asphalt shingles. And I'll just go up here and I'll pick a point right up here, boom, and then go down here. And we'll go there and then over and then asphalt shingles. ASPHALT. That's like that, asphalt shingles. Okay, so I've got that. And I think that's okay. I don't think that's too large. And then I'll go to the next one, 1/2 inch. If it is, I can just fix it, And I'll go over here. I'll stop this one there. And this one will be 1/2 inch plywood. Okay, and then at that point, I could then take it and move it over a little bit if it's not quite where I want it to be. So I'm doing there. I'll do one more text. Okay, we'll do this one. And 2x6 pre-engineered truss. 2x6. Add a truss. Probably put that on two different things, but that works like that. Okay, so I've got that right there. And this is what you would do for all of these. You go ahead and put these all in there. And when you're done, you'd then be good to go. And so you put those in as we see. And then what I do is I take this and I put it on the next sheet. So the next sheet would be down here. The next sheet would be down here. Would be that'd be wall section. So I'll go ahead and pull the wall section over here, and I'll go to here, and I'll go to my section. Wall section's right there. I'll pull this over like this, and I'll go ahead and drop this right around there. Boom, there you are. And then at that point, it's going to look like that, and we are looking good. So now we are looking great. And then the last thing we have down here is schedules. Okay, so I got schedules. Now, how do I get schedules in there? Well, the cool thing is I set this up for you already. So I've got a door schedule and a window schedule. I'm going to grab the door schedule, take it and drop it right there. Boom, done. And I grab the window schedule. It's already populated with the information, and that's already there. So we got that. The door schedule and the window schedule, those are already there. The very last thing that you'd want to do is you'd want to make some kind of a 3D view, okay? And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save a 3D view for you guys. So I'm going to go out to here, and because the 3D view that you want to have a view that looks kind of nice. It doesn't keep changing. And so what I'm going to do here, you can do this several different ways. So it looks like this right here. That's what the view looks like, and that's what I want to use. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go to my 3D view. Go up here, go 3D view like this. I'm going to get it so that it looks something like this. I'm going to, I could take it and do this. I could go ahead and do this. I could just kind of tweak it a little bit, make it look like this or that, something like that. And then I could just kind of like click on this and make it like that. So that looks good. And then what I would do at this point is I would want to maybe save this. So once I get this, I'd go down here and I can just save this view. It's a 3D view. So I'd go here. And here it says 3D. I'm going to save this view. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to click on there and right click. I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call it cover sheet. Cover sheet. Cover sheet. Cover sheet. Whatever. 3D. Okay, cover sheet 3D image, so I got that. Could name it something else. Okay, so now that I've got that, I just saved it. So now if I go back over to my sheets, this is where it gets kind of good. I can go over here to my cover sheet. And what do I put on there? So in my 3D views, I grab this one, pull it on in here. and bada boom, bada bing, there it is, and I've got that. So that's how we go ahead and place that. And then we could, we know how to change it around and so forth, but that's how you could basically put that together. There's a couple other ways you could do that, but for right now, that would do. And at this point right now, you may want to say something like, you know what, I would really probably prefer to have on there. And if I double click inside, I can actually go over into that item. And double click outside there. I don't want to do that. So I'll back that off. Okay.
Question, Professor.
Yeah.
Since this is a pretty big piece of homework that we're doing, how often would you recommend that we save it?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Since this is a pretty big project, how often would you recommend we save it?
Oh, I would, basically it doesn't automatic save. I would save every probably every 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yep. Now you'll notice that this sheet doesn't look like mine does right here. And this is actually what this looks like right here. It says 3D1. Okay, so it's got that view because there's more than one way to do this kind of a thing. You can actually make this look a little bit different. So I'll just show you another way to do this, just to give you another option here. So I've got this right here. Another way I could do this is if I went out to my 3D view right out here. So I've got this 3D view. That's the one I want, is it? Where did I come from? Okay, so my 3D view, why did it do that? Okay, so 3D view looks like that. So I'd have to turn these off. I don't know why I did that, but we'll go ahead and do that. And then what I do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on like this, make it realistic. Okay, so it's got this kind of view like this, and you can rotate it around like that kind of a thing. And here's just another way to go about doing this. I could do a rendering. I could also do a screen capture. A few different things I could do here. A few different ways to do this. One thing you could do is you could use your snipping tool. You go down here and use your snipping tool. You guys might all be familiar with this, but your snipping tool is just a Windows thing. And this is where you just go in here and you say, I want to grab this right here. And you go ahead and grab that. And then you go ahead and save it, file, and save it as, and you go ahead and save it as, out here, I go ahead and save it as custom garage. Rendering. That. So I just did that, and that would be one thing I could do, and just put it in as an image then. That could be a little bit easier. And there's yet another way. I could actually go to my view, and I could go to render it. And I could go to do a little quick render. Going here, I'll just go ahead and do a quick medium render, and I'll hit render, see how this looks. And I think that's what I did before. So I just did kind of a quick 3D rendering right there. I didn't do anything too tricky. That's actually what I did before. So I go here and I'd go ahead and go to high. Let's just do high. It's going to take a little bit longer. The more resolution you put into it, the longer it's going to take. So this is going to take just a little bit longer. So we'll let that crunch. And yeah, this is something probably the best way to do it. As I'm doing this right here, I think that's what I did before. So I just got this rendering. Yeah, it looks pretty much like that. So I'm letting it do its thing right there. And we'll just let it crunch. And while it's doing that, I'm just going to get a basic idea as far as this goes. And we're taking a look at that. And then once it's all done, I can actually save it, which is kind of cool. So once I have this, I can go here and go to save to project. Save to project. I'm going to call this one custom garage rendering. All right, that's how you'd actually go on doing that. Then at that point, you could go over here to your, I'll close out of there. And then I'd go over here to my sheets and I'd go ahead and I'd replace it with that one. So I'll get rid of this one because it doesn't look quite the way I wanted it to. So now where is that going to show up? Well, where is it? Where is it? Well, actually where it shows up is that will show up here under your renderings. You actually have a place called renderings. You click on renderings. So I would accept you guys doing this any of the ways I'm showing you right now. I'm just showing you different methods so you guys can see how this works. And then, there we go. And what I'm doing is taking this and just making it a little larger like that. Okay, and this can move. Like that. All right, and that's pretty much what you would do. So then when you're done here, you would then have your cover sheet, your first floor plan. And now when you're all done, you just want to go back and do this kind of thing where you go back and if you want to, I'm going to show you a little trick here. If I double click inside of here, it's as if I just went to the view, and then I could just right click and go to hide in view, because I don't need to see it here. So I need to hide that, and that's gone. Then I double click outside of it, just like you would do in AutoCAD, for those that are familiar with that part, but we'll move on from there. We really didn't do too much with that. And we'll just continue to go through our construction documents here. Looking good, looking good. Okay, foundation plan. What is my foundation plan? Where'd it go? I must have undid it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pull it back out there real quickly. Not sure what happened there. Okay, yeah, okay, I didn't put it there yet. So there's that. And so let's go through these now. So you got the cover sheet, first floor plan, looks like that. Yeah, I'm gonna double click to make these all the same, like this, like this. All right, like that. And there it is. So cover sheet, first floor, second floor, elevations, foundation plan, wall sections, and schedules. And that is pretty much all you're going to need. And that's what you're going to work on. So the remainder of the class time for tonight is working on this. And then next week, we're going to get into doing the final project, which is the Winthrop project, which is going to be a two-story house with a basement. So we'll work on that next week. But for right now, that's all we have. So but let me just kind of pause here and ask if there's any questions at all.
You just mentioned next week, but we won't have class next week. So you mean in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean in 2 weeks. Yeah, nothing on Thanksgiving. You don't have to be here for Thanksgiving, right? So that is correct. And so next class time is what I mean. Any other questions before I'm going to turn off the video here? So any other questions before I do that? All right, I'm going to stop the recording.